Good evening. On this January 14th, 2020, I'm Mayor Broderson. Welcome to our city. Well, I don't have any clips to show you at the beginning. Usually I can show you stuff that happened all weekend at the beginning of our show, but we were supposed to have this huge snowstorm, which really didn't happen, but it was slick and yucky out. A lot of people got to stay home and make a pot of chili and have family time, and that was fun too. Big thanks to all of our road crews who worked hard to make sure that everybody was safe out on the roads. We have a couple of wonderful guests tonight, and I know you're going to be excited about hearing from all of them. We actually have two guests at one time, which we don't do very often, so we have a special treat. We are going to learn everything there is to know about Eagles and Ivory's Ragtime Weekend, which is coming up, not this coming weekend, but the next. We have Paul Thielman and Angela Woodhouse with us. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming. You know, last year we had your dad on here who talked to us all about Eagles and Ivory's weekend. And I love it. I think was last year or the year before the first time that it was on Thursday also. It hasn't been, it wasn't always Thursday. It was just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right, we've
expanded it.
Yes, we have.
Yes.
We had silent movies before on
More
Thursday
fun.
at the Art Center, but we did a cabaret night for the first time at the Merrill last year.
Fun. And so fun. I love how the whole weekend is just jam-packed with stuff. How many years have we had Eagles and Ivories here in Muscatine?
26.
Oh my goodness. And it's sponsored by the Muscatine Arts Council, is that correct?
Muscatine County Arts Council.
Muscatine County Arts Council.
Right.
Very good. MCAC.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Macaque for sure.
There you go, yeah, whatever it's going to be. So, Ragtime Weekend, is it always called Ragtime Weekend or just this year?
It's always Eagles and Ivory's Ragtime Weekend.
So is there a different theme every year?
Well, Jeff Barnhart is Jeff and Ann Barnhart are our headliners, and he's also our musical director. So we leave it up to him whatever theme he wants to do.
Okay.
This year there's not really a special theme. However, on the Sunday, the final concert, they're going to do celebrating 500 years of music in America.
Oh.
So that's going to be the send-off.
That'll be nice.
That'll be really nice. But although it started off just ragtime, they do play all kinds of music.
I thought so, sure.
Yeah. So there's spirituals, jazz, sometimes there's always boogie-woogie, of course, stride piano. And then one of our new performers that has never been here, his name is Carl Sonny Leland, and he plays all genres of music and rock and roll, some country. So there's going to be a little bit of something for everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
So where's it going to be at? Maybe we should break it down by day. Okay. Thursday night,
Thursday night is held at the Merrill Hotel.
And that's January 23rd.
Yes.
7 o'clock.
And that's going to be up in the Alexander Clark room.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Which is on the top floor.
Okay. And what's that going to be?
That's going to be the cabaret with Ivory and Gold, and then Dr. Dave Mazak.
Oh, fun. So people can plan on it being like 7 till 9, 10 o'clock?
Yeah. Probably around 9. It's
Probably
a little bit
9.
shorter. It's not as long as our others, but at least
I
would say a good hour and a half or maybe 2 hours, depending on Jeff when he gets talking, you know.
Sure. And a great way to kick off the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So then Friday, what do we have to look forward to?
Well, Friday, we have a kickoff concert, and that's been a tradition out of Sunnybrook. And so Jeff will be out there, and then any of the performers, obviously Dr. Mazak, Dave Mazak, he will be out there as well playing. And if any of the other ones are in, they'll stop in and play as well. But it's wonderful because, you know, a lot of the residents there are not able to attend. And they absolutely love it, and it's just been a fun way to kick off the event. And then at 12:45, and we don't actually have this in our brochure, but we are really proud of this. We do a silent movie at Jefferson School for all the students.
Oh, on Friday while they're still in school. How great is that? And bringing them in, I just love it when we have opportunities to teach our youth the love of culture and arts. That's so nice.
Absolutely.
Jeff Barnhart
yeah,
plays piano,
yes.
which was the way films were presented back in
Sure.
the early 1900s up through the 1920s. There was no sound on movies, so there was a musical background provided, usually by a piano player, sometimes by an orchestra. And then the kids are just amazed because they've never seen anything like this before. They're black and white, and frequently they're funny, you know.
Yeah.
And they have these
this kind of music, most of them actually.
Yes.
And they love it. Every year they're laughing and just, it's really a fun time. And musicians, you know, it's dark. And here he is playing these really intricate rags, and, you know, and he'll offer sometimes a little bit of commentary as well to get the kids going and laughing. And
He's such an excellent performer.
yeah, he is, yeah,
It brings you right on in.
absolutely.
Then the
So then,
big concerts, the main events,
Sure.
are Friday and Saturday night, and they will be slightly different, I think.
Yeah, every concert will be different. It's
Sure.
not the same.
So Friday night's
Not
gonna
only-
be where?
Not only, well, they're both
at
Friday
the
and
Merrill.
Saturday night are at Wesley United
at Wesley
Methodist
United
Church.
Methodist
Yes.
Church.
It's a wonderful auditorium.
Uh-huh.
It's held in the sanctuary, but musically, you know, they do have the largest pipe organ
Sure,
in the
sure.
state of Iowa. And so it's been and of course it's fully renovated now after the tornado.
Right.
And so, yeah, we have the main concerts, and those begin at.
They begin at 7
7.
o'clock. However, to make a whole night of it, the church, and this is not our event, but the church, Friday night they will do a soup supper from 5 to 7.
Isn't that nice?
And I believe it's what, $5 to $7 maybe for that, and
Maybe
then
$6, yeah.
Sure.
maybe
For-
$6.
Yeah.
They have soup and desserts and whatever. And on Saturday night they do they call it a syncopation supper, and it's, I think, like pork chops. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pork loin dinner or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But during the dinner, we have two bands playing. So one night the Mad Creek Mudcats will play, and then the opposite night the Locust Street Boys. So
Nice.
just lots of music and fun.
Sure.
And the ticket prices for Saturday and Friday and Saturday night are both $20.
Okay.
So it's so reasonable.
So reasonable.
Yeah,
And students, high school and below, are free.
all students.
That's excellent.
Yep.
So it's wonderful exposure for any student who has any interest in
Oh,
music.
it
It's
is.
a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
It really is to get exposed to all of that. So then Saturday during the day, what do we have?
Well, Saturday during the day, in the morning, there's an Eagle Watch at Pearl City Station, and that's presented by Dave Bakke, the naturalist, and that's free, of course, for everybody, and that's at Pearl City Station. And then at 12 o'clock, we have silent movies again for the general public. So those, you know, Friday is the students, but
Sure.
this is for everybody, and Jeff will play for that. And then there's another concert after that at 2 o'clock, and that's Carl Sonny Leland.
And where will that be at?
That's in the music room at the Muscatine Art Center, as well as the silent movies. They'll both be there.
I love that you're changing up the venue for the whole
Yeah.
weekend at all different places too.
People can check out our magnificent art center and the museum. It's so much history out there, and they just do a
I
fantastic
can't
job.
tell enough stories about how lucky we are to have the art
Absolutely.
center that we have.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after that, the soup supper, or I guess the syncopation supper, starts at 5 o'clock, 5 to 7. And that's in the basement at the church.
Okay.
But there's an elevator if people need that.
It's a really nice area down
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. And then they can just come upstairs, and the concert starts at 7 o'clock. And the one thing we forgot to mention, both Friday and Saturday night. So after the big concert around 10 o'clock, we head back over to the Merrill, and we call it after hours. And so what that is, the Mad Creek Mudcats and the Locust Street Boys, after they're done playing for the dinner, they'll listen to the big concert, and then they head over there a little bit early. and they start to play a little bit more, and then when the performers have packed everything up, they head over there, and it's really kind of an open arena for anybody who wants to get up. We'll have pianos there, and they can get up and play. A lot of times the main performers will get up there and play with them, and it's just a hoot. It's really a great time. Yeah.
And we've had a couple times we've had younger performers who just were there at the main show, but they want to kind of play with the pros.
Oh,
and
sure.
We've had a couple of high school students, excellent piano players,
Yeah.
who participate, and yeah, it's fun. And that's after each of the main event concerts, Friday and Saturday night.
Both
we
nights
have
you
after
have
hours.
that after
Yeah.
And if you
hours.
have a ticket for the concert, it's free to
Yeah.
go to after hours
Yeah.
as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it's just $5 to get in too. But, we offer for I'll just, if I can run over the prices really quick.
Please.
So the easiest thing, if you want to attend all the events, which we really encourage everybody, it's $70. And that's for every event that you can go. And
My goodness.
it's so reasonable if you look
It
at
is.
the price of tickets for any concert. Thursday evening, it's $15 for the cabaret. Friday evening and Saturday evening, it's $20. The Eagle Watch is free, and then the silent movies are $5. Saturday afternoon concert is $15. And then we didn't talk about it, well, I mentioned it maybe, the Sunday afternoon concert is $15. And one other thing, the Merrill, if somebody wants to just hang out down there, they're offering a special rate of $119, so it's
That
kind of
is
nice.
so
to-
nice.
Right.
Yeah. Even if you live here in Muscatine.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Especially doing the after hours and
Yep.
all the different things. So Sunday, what's going to happen on Sunday?
Sunday is like a mini concert, and that's with Jeff and Ann, and they're going to do the 500, celebrating 500 years of music in America, and that will start at 2 o'clock. And usually, it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It wraps.
And that'll be where?
That'll be at the music room at the Muscatine
At the Arts Center.
Yep.
Okay. Back at the Arts Center.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very nice setting. I mean,
Sure.
it's much smaller, but so it's more intimate.
Oh, yeah.
And but it's another great Steinway piano.
Oh, sure. Well, I love that how it's such a well-rounded whole event. You've brought the youth in and done stuff with them. You've brought in the elderly and go out to meet with them out at Sunnybrook. I love doing events out there with them.
Yeah.
They're so much fun.
And one thing I would say, sometimes we hear, people think, it's not my cup of tea, or it's for older people. I assure you it's not. There's music for everybody, and it's just getting people to come for that first time, and once they do, they're hooked. It's a great time.
I don't care what kind of music it is. If it's live, it's very, very good.
Oh, sure, sure. It makes a huge difference.
And these people, ragtime is an often overlooked genre of music.
Sure.
It was very big in the early 20th century, and is the roots of American jazz. All part, Scott Joplin, probably the most famous of all ragtime composers, he's at the heart of jazz and all that. So, it's you learn more about the genre and these artists. I mean, Jeff Barnhart is an internationally known, extremely talented. He's got all kinds of connections in the music business, and he's a joy to work with. He really is. And one other thing we haven't said, but every year we produce a CD of the concert, and with the help of the gentleman Jim Van Winkle, who's in charge of audio for the church, he will then, he
produce it.
He sets up the music and actually produces it, and then I do the duplicating of the CDs.
He does a really good job too, I'll say.
Does he?
Yeah.
And we package it fairly professionally, and we sell it for $10. So
wow. So you're not making any money off of this at all.
No.
You can't even hardly be covering your costs.
That's the thing. It's very, very expensive to bring
sure, this kind
the
of
caliber
talent.
of talent that we
Yes.
bring in for this. It's very expensive, and we've held our ticket prices. We haven't raised ticket prices in many years, so it's not a free concert because we have to pay to bring these people in.
Sure,
but
sure.
we try to keep it reasonable and keep the ticket costs down.
Right.
And we've been able to do that with help from the Community Foundation of
Sure.
Muscatine and some
Private
donors that have helped us out. Without those people and ticket sales,
Right.
we
right.
just couldn't do this. So
Of
it's
course
really vital. And if
Yes.
you'd like to see live music in your community, which we think it really adds a lot to our community, please come out and support
Absolutely.
this. And I assure you, you'll have a great time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
How far do you think you bring people in from?
All over the country.
All over.
Yeah, I thought
we've,
so.
we've got people that from the St. Louis area that have come up repeatedly for all 26 years. But we've had people from Texas, from Georgia that are coming, Wisconsin area, Chicago area.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Well,
That really speaks to
we're
how
on the
wonderful.
ragtime map, and
Uh-huh.
and we are the finest ragtime festival in the state of Iowa.
Sure.
There's no question about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, there's fewer and fewer festivals like this around. So it's quite amazing that we've been able to continue this for 26 years.
Oh, man, yes, yes. So how many people do you expect for the weekend?
Well, in the things I've been reading up about it, something like 1,600 to 1,800 people will
For all events.
will probably
Yes.
see at least one
Yeah,
event.
yeah.
My goodness.
Normal attendance at the main concerts are in the 200-300
Yeah.
person range.
Yeah.
Sure.
And of course,
And
weather depends.
Weather's definitely
Sure
a
does.
factor.
Last year it did not help us at all.
Right.
So
But with the balmy winter we've had so far,
That's right, that's
we have
right.
our hopes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks to be a good one, I'm sure. Well, I just think it's amazing how many lives you touch with this, and from to all of for the hard work. I know an event like this doesn't just snap its finger. You don't just snap your fingers and put on an event like this. There is a lot of it.
there is, and actually, really right after this, my dad, who is the festival director, and he's been that the entire 26 years, he starts right away
Yes.
On
working
next year.
on next year because it takes that long to plan out an event at
Sure.
this size.
Well, if you notice, even the more publicized acts that ticket sales go on. If they're selling tickets now, the event might not be till April or May.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So we're, and and they're international artists. I mean, they're and some of this music is perhaps even followed more closely in England
Sure.
or in Europe.
It really does take the volunteers, though, to
Yes.
to band together to bring things like this
Yes.
to our community. We talk about it all the time on the show, that where would we be without the community volunteers? People like your dad working so hard
Yes.
all this time
Right.
to bring this
Yeah.
to our community, and for everybody else to be able to come here. It's just a wonderful event.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be great again this year. Yeah.
No, we're Dave is he's
yeah.
really a master organizer, and and he really loves the music.
Oh,
And,
sure.
and,
Well, you have to.
and the president of the board, Ed Chamberlain, does a very good
Oh,
job
yes.
of keeping things going, leading our meetings, and Ed's got a background in music too, so we do a little bit of the work behind the scenes over at the Merrill, and stuff like that. So
So specifics, where can people go to get tickets?
Flowers on the Avenue
Okay.
is the only place we sell them other than the door.
Okay.
So,
And they're welcome to purchase them at the door.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
So Flowers on the Avenue, or purchase them at the door. Some of the things, where can they get the flyers so they can go on your,
They can go onto our website, which is muscatineartscouncil.org,
Okay.
or they can go to Flowers on the Avenue, and we've got copies of our brochures as well, and our poster. Which,
Your posters are everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
they're
great.
everywhere, so
Yes.
a lot of the information is there as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to point out the Muscatine magazine that just recently came out this last week has a
Fantastic.
wonderful
Yes.
article on the
Yeah.
entire event, and so anybody would want to read that.
We also got a nice write-up in the Quad City Times. They had an Eagles weekend last weekend, and they put out about a 12-page brochure for that and other events that are going on in the Quad Cities area. And we got a full page entitled "Watch Eagles, Enjoy Ragtime During Eagles and Ivories." And
Oh, sure.
So that came out January 10th in the Quad City Times.
Well, we learned about it years ago. Our daughter works with Dave Bakke, so they're the two naturalists. So
Yeah.
Michelle Burns.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
And so we went to Eagles
Yeah.
with her all the time, and so then we kind of just stayed on and went to some of the musical things. So
Yeah, they've
it's
got
been fun.
more than the usual things going on with the Eagle Watch too.
Yes.
There are scopes and binoculars provided. There's also it's of course in the red building down.
Red brick building.
Uh-huh.
Pearl City.
Pearl City Station.
Yeah.
Yes.
And but there'll be hot chocolate and coffee for people, and there are live animals. Some of the animals that are live. I'm sure there'll be owls, possibly an eagle, and it's just a very and you learn about wildlife. I mean, from the people.
Oh,
that are
yes.
there.
And once again, families.
Yes.
Yes.
People of all ages can go and appreciate that as well.
Yep. And all of our events, we encourage everybody all family members are welcome. And like Paul said, just to reiterate that they are free. They can
Sure,
come
the
in.
youth.
Any
Mm-hmm.
of the students can come in free.
That's great.
So.
Yeah, the brochure, it was reprinted from previous ones. It said children 16 and under are free to all events, but that does now include all high school
Yep.
students.
Okay.
We changed it, so we want everybody to feel welcome
Oh,
to
yes.
come in. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the time when they develop that love of music,
Oh,
Yeah.
when
yeah,
they're youth. So
Yeah.
that's when we want to get them hooked.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So is there anything that the general public needs to know? They can get tickets at the door. They can get a flyer anywhere. They can get it on social media. They can get it on the Arts Council website. They can go to Flowers on the Avenue.
Yep.
And there's plenty of parking. Wesley has a very
They do.
very nice parking lot.
The Merrill does as well.
Yes. Yes.
And so it's I think with the addition of the Merrill, it's stepped it up again.
Sure.
As a great venue for people to
Yes.
visit and a place to stay. And then there's if the weather's decent, you can even on Saturday you can tour the town. You can go to the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
the museums in town. I call it the Button Museum, which has fantastic displays.
Oh, I love it there.
Yeah.
And the afternoon at Sunnybrook, I mean, anybody can go to that too.
Yeah, it's
right?
Friday morning.
Friday
Friday
morning.
morning.
Friday morning, and that starts at 9:30 to 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody can walk
Anybody
in.
can walk into
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you both for
Thank
coming
you.
on tonight and talking to us about this, because the community's not going to want to miss it.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you. This has been
We appreciate
delightful.
it.
And, yeah, we want I came to this kind of late. I mean, I've lived in Muscatine for over 40 years.
Sure.
And it was only when I got involved with the Arts Council and I was literally just taking tickets the first year and whoa, hey, this is fantastic. So I've gotten more closely involved and it's and keep your eyes on the Arts Council for the rest of the year too, because
Because there'll be other
we've got
events and things coming up.
an art
Art array,
array that's
juried art show.
a juried art show. We've got our summer concert series, and those are of course
Oh,
free.
yes,
And we're having
on
those
Sundays.
at the library building now. So
I like
Our
it that
poetry
it's
contest.
a really good place to have it.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the weather. There's
Yes.
great parking. There's air conditioning in the hot summer, so it works out well
Yeah.
for everybody. Yeah.
It definitely does.
And
thank you.
with our poetry contest, of course, that's annual, and then a few of the poems are actually set in concrete. So.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I have had the honor to meet a lot of presidential candidates this year as they come to Muscatine, and a lot of them came like during the flooding, and so I walked them all around downtown, and they all were very impressed with all of the sidewalk poetry.
Super,
that
we're
we
glad
had.
to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks both for coming. Well, we are going to transition to our next guest, and what we're going to work on now, though, is some save the dates. We have so much stuff coming up. This is going to be 4 days coming up, a week from Thursday, a week and 2 days away is going to be here. But I wanted to talk to you just a bit about Hard Won, Not Done. So this is a project that is being done in honor of the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, where women are able to vote. And so there's several different things that are going to be happening and going on with Hard Won, Not Done. This one that I wanted to talk to you about is Shell Games, and it's going to be at the Pearl Button Museum, and they're going to be highlighting the life and times of Pearl McGill. And Pearl McGill was an industrial spy and pioneer labor activist. And there's going to be a book discussion. So this is going to be February 21st from 5 to 7:30 at the National Pearl Button Museum and the History and Industry Center right down there on 2nd Street. $10 tickets cover the appetizers and a drink, and the book is $21.95. But this is just one thing that's going to be happening with Hard Won, Not Done. They're actually going to be highlighting women who have made a difference right here in Muscatine. And so if you can make it out to this, it's going to be great. You can you can call the window box for more information. You can get tickets there, and you will be able to see a lot of the different things that they're going to be doing here in Muscatine for Hard Won, Not Done. I think it's so exciting to learn about all of the women who have really made a difference here in Muscatine and highlighting their experiences and all of the things that they have done and the legacy that they have left behind for all of us. The next thing I wanted to talk about with Hard Won, Not Done is going to be January 28th at the Muscatine Arts Center. So they're going to have a whole display of all of these women. You're not going to want to miss it if you can get out there. It is going to be, and I'm looking here and doing a cheat sheet, it is going to be at 1:30 on January, I've got 19th down here, and I've got the 28th down here. So you better call and check because I've got 2 different dates. But trust me, you can go online, you can go on the Facebook, social media to Hard Won, Not Done, and you'll be able to find the events and hook up with them. It's going to be really good information. Next, I just wanted to share, we do have one other flyer there, Chad, on that art center, when maybe we can help clarify the date for that. I've got it down as January 28th at the Muscatine Art Center. Are you finding that? Otherwise, the next thing I was going to share with you is Kids First Pancake Breakfast. Oh, here we go. So it is January 28th from 4 to 6 at the Muscatine Art Center. And the League of Women Voters are doing this and it's going to be a huge display of the women who have made a difference. And next I wanted to share Kids First Pancake Breakfast is this coming Friday, January 17th at the First National Bank Walnut Room from 7 to 9. Most of you know about the Kids First Fund. It's a project that goes to help youth be able to be involved in sports, in camp, in music lessons, whatever it is that they want to do. If finances are a barrier for them, the Kids First Fund will be able to pay for them to enroll in soccer or to get those cleats that they need or to take piano lessons or whatever it is. It's a wonderful fund, and it's been going on for many, many years here in Muscatine, and they do several different fundraisers like this. So get on out and have a good pancake breakfast for a good cause. And lastly, Wine and Dine, the character development department at the Y, which works with youth and teaches them about caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. They do a couple of different fundraisers each year, and this one is a Wine and Dine event at Hy-Vee. So the chef fixes these fancy, fancy meals and serves each one of the courses with a different wine, pairs them all, and you can just have a date night with your honey and sit there and get waited on hand and foot. It's a wonderful, fun event. I've been several times. I haven't got my tickets yet, but I have been. So we are at the time for our second guest. We have Jessica Whitman here. She's with Muscatine Radiology, but she's here today because she's also the current president of Muscatine Rotary Club.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad
excited.
you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So, Jessica, you have always been our fun entertainer at everything we do.
Well, I mean, I try to be
You
fun
are.
everywhere I go, but
You are.
yeah. So my role in Rotary about 5 or 6 years ago became to be the fun and fellowship
Fun with
person.
Jess.
Fun
That's
with Jess.
it.
And
That's
now
it.
as the president, we've kind of passed that along to Megan Francis, who's with Sunnybrook, and I
Yes.
heard that mentioned
Oh,
many
she
times.
is.
She's great. She does such a wonderful
She
job
is.
with it. So
She
and
must be lining up invocation too, because she called me to do an invocation.
You are on the slate for the 27th.
Yes.
Don't forget.
I
we are
won't.
counting on you.
It's on there.
Because you are a Rotarian.
Yes, I am.
And not to interview the interviewer, but how long have you been a Rotarian, Mayor Broderson?
I think over 10 years.
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah,
this is my 10-year anniversary. So
Okay.
you must be.
Right.
You were there when I got there.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
I
fun.
know.
Yeah.
And right now, and I don't make it to as many meetings as I want to.
Well, I mean, you're
but I
kinda
have
busy,
And
but-
I have a conflict on,
Yeah.
on Mondays, but I get there whenever I can.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm asked to do the invocation, then I for sure make sure I
Yes.
cancel my other things. So
So we'll just have to schedule you.
yeah,
every
right.
Monday.
So I can do the invocation every week. But this
Yeah.
is a special, special time because it's our 100th anniversary.
Can you believe it?
No.
So the Rotary Club of Muscatine started in Muscatine in 1920.
I can't hardly believe that.
And to believe it or not, we actually have a Rotarian who's been in the club for about 67 years. And
Marv
should've-
Krieger?
Marv Krieger.
You
I
bet.
should have fact checked that before I came. No, it's something like that. And he's a family legacy, so we actually just inducted John Krieger, and so it keeps getting close. So now we have three
generations.
of Krieger in our Rotary
Goodness.
Club, which I don't think many Rotary clubs can say that they
I
have
bet they
that big
can.
of a legacy.
We're special.
So
We always
we
knew.
are special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So this event, what's it going to be? What are we going to do?
So we are having a grand 100-year celebration at the Merrill on February 1st, which is the actual date of our 100th anniversary.
awesome?
And I know it's hard to do it in the winter, but what a cool thing to say. We actually celebrated on the 100-year
Today.
anniversary.
That's right.
So
what's the evening going to look like?
it's going to be a lovely evening. We're having Ladies of Note play during a cocktail hour, which should start right around 5:30. And then Erica Cox, who's with MPW.
Sure.
She's a past president of the
Yes.
club. She's chairing up this event, and she put together a beautiful PowerPoint presentation, which is going to scroll throughout the evening and dinner, which will be a plated dinner. I got to talk to Chef Tess.